Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Oh well, best get on with it. Hello, hello, hello. How the devil art thou, whoever is here? We have a Scotty to Hottie and Anthony. How the devil? Yo, yo, yo. And thanks for sharing the stream out, Scott. Oh, go on, itch. Oh, good start, 3. I think I caught crabs from Haley. I'm always on time. Well, ish, usually, maybe. Ooh. You know, I think Chris went an hour early today, which kind of threw me for a bit of a loop. So I went at 5 o'clock to sort of like switch over and start watching Chris, and there's like, hold up, he's not there. Hello, Marit, my lovely. Did you get to go to the fish shop, fish store, and pick up any pretties? Lady Metalhead, good evening. And John the Fisherman, evening to you too, sir. Hope all is well with everybody. Oh, poor Anthony, he's missing his Priscilla already. I would as well, Anthony. Yeah. Yeah, one of these days you'll wish she went back home. Oh, I shouldn't say that, but you know, given my experience of long-term couples, looking from the outside in, anyway. Took it the right way. Yeah, so anyone new here, you know, if I say something that can be taken 2 ways, I meant the nice way. If I mean it the nasty way, it's obvious. Oh, we just had a little icy dance, did you, Marit? By which I hope you mean skating rather than falling on your backside and injuring yourself. I know what you're like. You don't want me to have to send kisses better to your butt. So if the various peepsy peeps are here, I wish I would start talking about what's been going on this week, but yeah, not a lot. I basically have nothing to report. Pardon me. Other than wind, but you know, that's normal. If I didn't have wind, something would be going badly wrong. Oh dear. Well, let's kiss your hips better then. What you like. And you got a pair of airbags and you ended up going the wrong way. I don't know. But and there's Greg there, 3G. And Kay, happy birthday for the other day, by the way. Happy 21st, Kay. So yeah, fish-wise, what's been going on? Not a lot. No births, no deaths, other than cherry shrimp births, but you know, that just happens. Yeah, exactly. Didn't land on your airbags. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, yeah, things are definitely windy. Where was I? So yes, I did finish filming the how to breed bristlenoses series this week. The final video, obviously not being filmed in order, which confused me the no end when I was trying to figure out which one was which. Oh, bless you. But yeah, it was the interesting one of getting the wrigglers out of the cave and into a breeder box. Now you will actually see it because it didn't go badly wrong. it actually worked. It worked beautifully. I only had one plec clip managed to escape, and I caught it instantly with a net, basically. The only real thing to report from that was, well, you can't see it, but right up there, you can just about see it. I've got a Gorilla Pod, the original Joby Gorilla Pod mounted, which is where the GoPro was mounted onto filming, because there's not enough room up there to get tripod and whatever, and that wouldn't hold the weight of my camcorder up there anyway. And yeah, there was a certain cat must have been sat on the top of that tank watching me because he decided to knock the camera over. But you know, that was the only minor surprise in that video. And today's t-shirt is the 25th anniversary Nightwish t-shirt. Get your teeth in, Sharpe, might help. So yes, what else? Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I've done this week, other than water changes, chores, feeding, sleeping, feeding myself, staying warm. Oh, bless, Marit's feeling old. Well, if you all keep chucking yourself around on ice, Anthony just put some blue Neos in a 75. So much work, so much rock work in there. You've only seen 2 since. Yeah, that'll happen. But they'll get settled. They'll start breeding. They'll start multiplying, and then you'll go, "Oh crap! Now I've got 8,000 of them, and I need to find somewhere getting rid of them." Good problem to have. Oh, pardon me. The old bomb trumpets in full. Hold on. Yeah. Yes, getting older does suck, as does gravity. I know you ladies, have bigger issues with gravity than us men do, but we still do. When you go to get out of bed and you're stiff rather than it being stiff, that's not so good. That's one of the things I've noticed about getting older. Generally wake up and I'm stiff. It takes you longer to get out of bed than you probably spent asleep. Make more noises as well. Make the old person noises as you try to stand up, and all the cracks and creaks and grinds and gravity, she is a cruel mistress. Couldn't live somewhere as cold as Norway, Kay. Yet you decide to live out on the coast of the North Sea. It's probably not that much warmer, to be honest. And it has been below freezing a fair bit this week, and that's inland, so I don't know what it's been like at the coast. I think it was it Wednesday, the frost didn't clear all day? Until like late at night, and then it peed down the rain and turned it all to ice, which is probably worse. Cold, yeah. Cold is what we call good weather, Anthony. What we call Southern Californian weather. Those of us who are used to a different climate, SoCal weather is horrible. Same with Florida. Someone needs to turn down the heating and the brightness. It's like when you go around a friend's house and they've got the brightness turned up to max on the TV and you sat there indoors thinking, I need my shades on, this is too bright. British cold and no fog. Yeah. -10 in Oslo, normal winter, yes. I think we've had -2. C for the Americans, not F. Centigrade or Celsius, not Fahrenheit. We had a bit of fog and a bit of rain, and it's generally good weather, really. Those are warmer than Priscilla's eyes. Yeah, well, Priscilla does live like a mile above sea level, and you are at sea level, so there's a slight difference there. When she comes to see you, she's bouncing about off the ceilings from the amount of extra oxygen in her system. Florida heat without the humidity. That's it. It's not the heat that's the problem. We can deal with being warm. It's the humidity that's the killer. I mean, even if it's like, say, mid-20s, if the humidity's high, then I'm still in a sweaty puddle somewhere. I just don't do well with heat and humidity. Makes my hair go all frizzy. No, it doesn't. It just makes me go, ugh. Yeah, that is one of the things. When it gets hot here, it is normally humid hot, unless it stays like it for a long period of time, and then everyone's just had enough of it. Except those weirdos that worship the sun. G'day, yes. How the devil art thou? Don't mind me just sucking on a butt. And we have a can of Daddy Ball today. Because Daddy Ball, Mummy Ball, Baby Ball. Do, 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 do. Tired but alive. 2018, got some from hell, hit 40. Ooh. Yeah, we've been very close to that, and yeah, us Brits don't know what to do with that either. I think it was a couple of years ago, we were actually having wildfires in the UK. It was like, what the hell? I think it went from sort of mid-March, April through till like late August, and it didn't rain once. It was just getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And then it finally, it's longer ago than that. It must be 4 years now. Yeah. 4 years ago. Damn. Because that was when I bought my first fish in my first fish tank. That was -9 to 39 in one day. You could say that. Damn. I'd probably put my body in shock. -40-degree temperature swing. 1st of May till October. Yeah, it was ludicrously hot here as well. Yeah, it would be 18. Yeah, same year. It was horrific. Time flies when you're having fun. It does. I've had 2 jobs since then. Actually, no, I have been employed longer than I've been unemployed in that time. But I much prefer it like this. I'd like it if it was like later in the evening, but similar kind of weather. I don't do well in the heat. come on, it was only a couple of weeks before Christmas I finally started wearing my jeans again, put my shorts away. And the only reason I started wearing the fleece before then was because people kept going, "Oh, aren't you cold?" Dying in France from the heat. Yeah, yeah. I mean, all that much cheese and wine and heat is going to be bad. And the onions and garlic. Oh dear. Oh, that's going to smell funky. Probably smell worse than Aquafunk. See, normally I say something like that, he'll turn up. He's probably lurking. Yeah, no, me heat, bad combination. Me cold, good combination. Um, you know, I've worked in chilled factories and blast freezers and stuff, so it don't bother me that much now being cold. You just wear more clothes or work harder. Or just grab a blanket and duvet and snuggle up. It tends to work just as well. And yes, I've just realised just how shut my eyes are. Oh well. Oh, excuse me. Didn't sleep well last night and I've been yawning all day, so you'll have to bear with me, I'm afraid. Yeah, I was literally had a nothing happen week. We went to Taveram Garden Centre today, which Kay will know of, and had a look round, and yeah, they didn't have anything that I was after. So that was helpful. I was like, right, I've not bought myself any fish for an age. I need to buy some more fish. Exactly, Marek. Cold weather, you can add more clothes. In the heat, there's only so many you can take off. Yes. Um, or YouTube takes your live stream down. Yeah, so we went there. I mean, technically, what watching while doing the chores on TV so you can hear me through downstairs. Well, if you can hear me in your downstairs, then you got a problem, Lady Metalhead. Most people would call that, possession or illegal. Yeah, so when we had a look around, they didn't have any panda cories. The 4 lemon blue-eyed brittlenoses I had were all male, and the epistogrammas they did have a couple of males, but they were tiny. And Missy Pisto would probably make them to death within about an inch, within a week or so. There was a fair selection, Kate. It's the same with all fish stores, isn't it? As if you go there, if they've got the things you're looking for, it's great. If they haven't, but no, they have the usual kind of selection going on. Bit low on cories and plex. Howdy M&C. Plenty of little tetras and yeah, don't buy clown notes from there. Oh, and we got our first Russian hack bot turned up. Yay! Remove. And hide user. There we are. All done. But yeah, kind of a pistos there. Cacatoides. She's a triple red, but if I can only get a double red, then that's fine. Or an orange flash.
They're still an epistogramma cacatoides. They'll still go bidding, bidding, bidding. Need some new nanos. Nanu, nanu. Yes, quite a few equal fishes they had. They did have scarlet baddis, emerald rasbora, bridgesay rasbora. Trying to think, endlers, shrimpies, a few randoms. So yeah, literally the things I was looking for they didn't have. So well, didn't come out empty-handed. Bought a few more assassin snails because yeah, the snail straight in the flex is getting a bit too much. Yeah, Marrett saw exactly the same thing I saw. And yeah, when you get to a certain age, I think we all need a new one of them as well. We're back on the rusty starfish again, aren't we? Yeah, I'll say that. There was a good selection of fish, but again, I'll say it wasn't anything really up that I wanted. So it's just 4 assassin snails that are now in there clearing whatever's out in there out, and they'll get moved. Howdy, Griffin. Willkommen. Why am I speaking in German again? I don't even speak German. My brain does weird stuff. It starts speaking in languages it doesn't know. Yeah, so next week is probably going to be a selly fishy week. So it'll have to be the week after. We'll probably then go to Express Aquatics in this, see what they've got. Unless Swallow Aquatics have got some decent panda cories in. Oh dear, not COVID. Saliva went down the wrong hole. That's all that thinking about nanas. Yeah, so probably well, get yourself on Match. Was it Match or what was it? What was the other one that was on? Oh God, I'm going to get in trouble now. Weren't Tinder, weren't Grinder before anyone says. One of the online dating ads anyway. It wasn't Plenty of Fish. Definitely not that one. That's a meat market of time wasters. Zoopla. Yeah, I think it was Zoopla. That's where I met Mary. So flutter your eyelashes and you only want the chauffeur. Oh, well. Look for elderly gentlemen for days out. Mostly going around garden centres and fish shops, which elderly gentlemen do enjoy. I'm sure they treat you to a cream tea as well. Yes, I did say the right words there. Nearly got it wrong. My brain was going elsewhere. Yeah, so it's things I don't drive either, so I know the feeling, Kay. It's I'm sure there are plenty of gentlemen who would enjoy your company for purely platonic reasons. You never know. You could always ask your mate George Palmer. Say no more. Yeah, 'cause us and George, we're like that. You chauffeur to take the Dovi fry to a different tank. Oh, gold. Dovi. They're honking big chiclets, aren't they? Yeah. Good luck with that. He's got a sense of humour. Howdy, Simon. All Red Bulls spin in your head. It ain't gave me wings. It might have given me wind. It's not giving me wings. And yeah. Anyone who knows me. That's not a large amount of caffeine. That's just a slight top up at the end of the day. Feel free to comment. Okay, it's not like he's going to watch, is it? Come on. Well, bear in mind, he is a professional paid aquascaper, not necessarily a fish keeper. There is a difference. Same hobby, two different parts of it. And I'm not saying one is better than the other, but you know, I'm a fish keeper. I mean, technically, we're all water keepers. Because if we keep the water clean and healthy, then the fish stay clean and healthy, and the plants grow nicely. Yeah, there is that, Kay, but that's just one of those things that kind of happens with some people. They have the automatic assumption that just because you're asking a question that you don't know anything. Yeah, I'm not one to put up with that either. I will. You're perfectly welcome to your opinion, and I do share it. He was a bit condescending, but yeah. Finally got a dentist appointment this Friday. Finally getting your mouth fixed. I would say there's nothing wrong with your mouth. I mean, I've not been inside of it, so I don't know what the inside of the mouth looks like, but the outside looks plenty fine to me. Just be glad you don't see the inside of my mouth. You know the stereotype about English people having bad teeth. Yeah, I'm that stereotype. Might be something to do with the vast amounts of energy drink and cola that I drink. Teeth. Oh, poor little toothy pegs. So I find if you leave them long enough, then the nerves just die off and it's all good. I've got one down there that's broken off now, it's below the gum line. One up there that's broken off below the gum line. They don't hurt because they're dead. Things certainly saying there's many more females more obvious in the hobby. That there are. The fish fam is definitely good at promoting the females, and you know, I mean, speaking personally, I don't care if you're black, white, male, female, hermaphrodite, yellow. Believe we're ruled over by moon pigs from outer space. If you got your knowledge, I'll respect you for having your knowledge. It's that simple. it's not just the English blokes, it's Americans too. Well, I'm getting the American figure, so I don't quite eat food out of a bucket yet, but we're getting there. Yeah, I mean, and there are plenty of females in this hobby that George Farmer would lose an argument with. I mean, if he started trying to talk about betters and Amber got involved, he'd be in trouble. Big trouble. And Rachel would probably beat the living Jesus out of him. Exactly, namesake. Everyone's way of keeping fish and escaping is different, and what works for one is not going to be the same that will work for everyone else. The way I keep shrimp is completely different to the way that shrimp specialists will tell you to keep shrimp. Is my way wrong? Not for my shrimp. Is their way wrong? Not for their shrimp and their water. My water change consists of getting the jug going dunk. Yeah, no shrimp in there. Pour into bucket. Water change the shelly tank at the same time, so we fill a bucket up. Less trips to the sink. Then we fill it up from the sink. We get in the bucket and we go into the shrimp tank. That's the water change. No dripping water in or slowly removing and dripping back in and anything like that. But a professional shrimp keeper will tell you not to do it the way I do it. In my blue shrimp colony, when that had the Vorticella outbreak, I completely stripped the tank down, basically sterile tank, and put the shrimp back in it with completely new water, completely sterile tank, new filter, and they're doing fine. Yeah, shouldn't have worked, but it did. So yeah, we each have our ways of doing things. It's the same with modeling, which is why I never made a single how-to video. I made how I do videos. Now, how I do it. It's not saying it's the only way or the right way, it's just a way. And exactly, MC, people complicate it way too much. And not necessarily complicating it, have their strict rules that everything has to abide by. And if it doesn't, then you're doing something wrong, or And I had someone tell me this week that if a plant has a dying leaf, you have to remove it or it will cause an ammonia spike. I'm like, no, because the amount of time it takes that leaf to rot down, the ammonia munching bacteria will have increased in volume to take into account. You won't get a spike. Hola, Ricky de Hoyos. How the devil are you, sir? And sorry, my Spanish is no better than that. It's about as good as my German, which is actually better than my Norwegian. Embarrassingly. Isn't that why you have snails to eat dying leaves? Yes, Kay, it is. But, snails are bad. If you have snails in a tank, it's a bad thing. You have to get rid of them straight away. Then you have to add a chemical to get rid of all the algae that the snails were eating. Terry's tropical tanks. Evening tell? Yeah, quadlingual. Yeah, I can speak bollocks in a multiple of languages, pardon my French.
Yeah, undergravel filters, box and sponge filters, no fancy canisters. Well, you'll like most of my tanks, see, because it's mainly big chunks of sponge with either air or powered water flow going through them. And the one canister I do have has sponge, more sponge, a bit more sponge, and filter floss in it. That's it. Snails are awesome. Unless you get completely overwhelmed with them, then they can be a problem. And Eduardo's here, Master Aquatics. Hello, sir. Bonsoir. But yeah, I've got snails in all my tanks, apart from the Shelly tank, and that's just because, they kill them. Water polisher. Well, that's what a filter is. That is a filter's job, to filter muck out of the water. Put it that simply, that's what a filter does. Bacteria is just as happy to grow in a piece of sponge, on a piece of wood, on the inside of the pipes of a canister, as it is to grow on special media. Yeah, I think I even saw a report somewhere. I'm not sure how much credence to give it. Saludos, ciao, yes, aka Tony Costa. Oh dear. Yeah, so yeah, that's what a filter does. The water with bits of muck floating about and it gets sucked in one end of the filter and it gets blown out the other end of the filter with none of the muck left. That's what they're for. Now, I'll say in here we have an old school box filter that needs cleaning and an internal power filter. And that's it. Shrimp tanks have got sponge filters. Okay, the Pleco grow out tanks are a little heavier filtered. Bienvenido, yes. So, filters is filters. They take muck out of water. Bacteria will grow wherever they want. Exactly. And if you do have a canister, when you clean it out, because it gets mucky and gunky inside, when you fill it all back up, plug it back in, what's the first thing that happens? Other than it making a god-awful racket as it sucks a bunch of air through. It spits out all that light brown gunk out of the pipe. That's all the bacteria that was living in the pipes. That's nowhere near the special magical biomedia. That's just living on a piece of ribbed plastic tubing. Or not ribbed for her pleasure even sometimes. Sponge filters are still dirt magnets. Yeah, they are, but that's what they do. If they don't hold on to the dirt, they keep it in a neat pile in one corner of the tank, which is a lot easier to clean up. Filters is definitely something people overcomplicate. They're not that tricky. You can make a perfectly acceptable filter with a soda bottle, an air stone, an air pump, and some filter floss. And that'll do a better job of polishing the water than any canister ever will. Because the water flows through it slowly. Giving them floss, the filter media, more time to remove the particulates. But that's like the other great thing with sponge filters, with shrimp, the shrimp are permanently grazing on them. With baby plecos, the plecos are permanently grazing on the sponge filter because the muck gets sucked into the sponge, or the microorganisms that live on stuff
then live on the sponge because they're eating the stuff that's getting sucked in, and then all the bigger creatures start feeding on it. Got 3 240 gallons, no cans, sponges, and a couple of hanging backs. Exactly. You don't need as much as people seem to think you need, especially if you've got a decent substrate bed, live plants, and you do your maintenance. I'm sure a lot of people are trying to get the tank where you don't have to do water changes, thinking that because there's no nitrates, we don't need to do water changes. Yeah, you still do. Oh dear, look out. Skipper's here. Evening, Skip, me old chap. How the devil are you? Welcome to a typically irreverent Sharpe stream. We're actually talking about fish for once. Oh, weird, I know. It does happen sometimes. Yeah. Though I tend to not like plants. Well, they do like them. They do like plants. They find them very tasty. Yeah, you can say there are ways around that. You know, you've got extra surfaces from the wood and all the kind of things that the bacteria and everything will grow on quite happily, so not a problem. Yeah, it's all about preferences, Lady Metalhead. I mean, there are tanks that having a canister on is a good idea. There are a lot of people who've got canisters on tanks that really don't need canisters. No, I wouldn't have a canister now if I hadn't been given one with the tank. You know, I got given a couple of tanks and a stand and a whole bunch of other stuff. And you know, if there hadn't been a canister with it, I wouldn't have bought a canister for it. I'd just probably run a Fluval U2 or U3 inside it. Maybe a sponge filter as well. Job done. But yeah, I'll say under gravel filters, metal frame tanks, old as they are, yeah, old but built to last. That's the thing. More stable than others than just use old box filters. Exactly. You can't beat an old box filter. And people don't like them these days because they can't sell you upgradey things for them. And they don't break down or go wrong. And when they do break, they're a lot cheaper to replace. Yeah, skip these switching the sponges. Again, it's just so much easier to clean the filters. You know, I mean, literally, you stick your hand in, you pull the sponge off the sponge filter if it's one of the ones like that. Let me get a bit closer so you can see what I'm talking about. So in there, I literally just pull the sponge out, stick it in the bucket of water and squish it out and put it back again. In ones that are like that, just pop the top off, pull the sponge off and do the same, put it back together. Whereas, yeah, and these are the ones with the power filters in that are having bacterial blooms at the moment. Well, that one's a bacterial bloom, that one's tannins, that one's clear. But yeah, that takes a lot more cleaning out. It bungs up solid. Oh, if we can get there. Cable, yep. There you go, down the back. Old school box filter that needs cleaning out with a Corey feeding off of what's stuck on the top of it. And yes, there are 150 more bristle noses in that breeder box. Oh, Steve's O's of bread. So I saw you earlier, Steve. I can't remember if I said hello, but hello. O's of bread, shrimp, and don't know how many youngsters you got. Yeah, probably a lot. Yeah, probably more than you actually realise, Steve. Especially with the shrimp, because they're minute. Yeah, If you've got central air unit, then it's just common sense to run air powered filters. You know, best food to bring shrimp forward is the stuff that lives on and feeds on, well, the stuff that lives in the algae, basically, and on the moss and the plants, that kind of thing. I mean, generally all my shrimp get, I mean, I do have some shrimp food from Mark's shrimp tanks. Yes, where's the sticker? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Mark's shrimp tanks. And his food is really good, so I do recommend that. The nettle mix, the protein, just get yourself a starter pack. And yeah, your shrimp will love everything. But yeah, I'll say generally that. What else do my shrimp get? Algae wafers, blanched nettle leaves, dried oak leaves, mulberry leaves. Yeah, pretty much anything that is going to rot down, because they don't feed off of the thing itself. They feed off of the infusoria that lives on the thing that is eating the thing. So you've got a leaf rotting down, the infusoria are feeding on that, and then the shrimp feed on the infusoria. William Axer, good evening, my friend. How the devil art thou? Yeah, it's passable, Willie. We're getting there. And Lord Sir Bob of Kayla's Aquatics and Exotics and L'Arc, good evening, sir. Good to see you. Give Yazzie a fuss for me, a belly rub and a head scratch. Yeah, I was like, generally, my shrimp, most of the time, I mean, if you've seen that one, that's just an algae farm. So yeah, they literally live off algae, or what is living in the algae most of the time. But yeah, I'll basically just drop some algae wafer or some whichever one of the Mark shrimp tank foods I have left. And so all dried oak leaves, catappa leaves, anything organic that's going to break down, then they feed on what feeds on that. So, and the liquefy number one, they love that too. I don't know where it is, but yeah, liquefy number one is like one drop. They do like that. It's basically bottled infusoria. It's fry food for super tiny fry, and yeah, they love it. Yeah, the main thing with the shrimp tank is that there is enough natural food in there for them to eat, which is why when I reset my blue tank, I overfed it for a couple of weeks just to make sure they had enough to constantly graze on. Did that mean the tank got mucky? Yes. Did it mean it grew a lot of algae? Yes. Is that a good thing? Yes. Because then the stuff that lives on the algae is feeding the shrimp. And probably the next time I sell some shrimp, I will be taking some out of there. Yeah, there's been another burst. We've probably got about 80 shrimp in there now, so about time I started clearing a few out. But you know, I'm not as over on with shrimp as I am with bristle noses at the moment, so you know. Anyone local who can pick up, I can sell you bristle noses.
Yes, we're back up to 750 again. Oh, there goes the welly phone. I'll be a cold caller. Probably someone wanting to save me money on my car insurance, or possibly sell me some. Yeah. I have no idea who that was. That was someone asking if I would FaceTime them. That'll be a wrong number. Oh, they're telling me to watch The Ritual. You're going to keep on going on about that, aren't you? Yes. God dear. Popcorn is to extend my warranties. Yeah, we don't get that problem in the UK. Well, I don't get it anyway. I had it once where one company kept phoning up trying to get me to extend the warranty on my TV. I said, well, okay, how much is it going to cost? So they told me. I'm like, so over 3 years, that's going to cost me more than a new TV is going to cost me. Oh yeah, but you're completely covered if your TV goes wrong. It's cheaper to buy a new bloody TV. But your one will be covered. So will the new one be, because that'll have the manufacturer's guarantee on it. It's like them people that kept phoning me up trying to give me a free iPhone. Then wanting my bank account details. Why do you need my bank account details to give me a free iPhone? Oh, we need it so we can put it through the system. No, you just need my address. No, we need your bank account. No, you don't. You called me up and said you wanted to give me a free iPhone. So I'll tell you my address. You can stick one in the post and send it out to me. You don't need bank account details to do that. Well, we do, because you need to have the contract. Otherwise, you won't be able to use the phone. I said, I don't want to use the phone. You're giving me a free iPhone. I just want to stick it on eBay and sell it. It's no use to me. Click. Ones I tell you want a 1 week holiday stay at, yes. Had those ones as well. Or the buy this product and get a free holiday. You've added the cost of the holiday to the price of the product. I had that probably 20 years ago now. Someone tried to sell me a £1,500 Hoover or vacuum cleaner. Oh, yeah, but you get free this. I'm like, I don't want none of that. Take that off the cost of the vacuum. What does that bring it down to? Take off all that other stuff as well that is pointless. No. Entirely possible to set up a collect phone as a distraction and collect money when they call. Yeah, my phone barely rings anyway, so I don't worry about it. As you can see, I'm not exactly jumping up to answer it. As Jeremy, he spoke in chat today. How you doing? And notice I didn't sing that line, because you probably hear that every bloody day in your life. Yeah. There's so many non-jobs around. I mean, I don't blame the people who are doing the job. I blame the people that bloody set up the idea in the company that does that.
I have noticed I do a lot less of those calls nowadays. So perhaps my number has gone on a troll list. Balking. It's like yeah, don't phone this guy up. He's just going to troll you. If he's got nothing to do, he'll keep you on the phone for 45 minutes and troll the hell out of you, and then say no. 1,600 bucks to fix your tooth. Damn. Just have it pulled out. It's easier. Probably cheaper. Good one, Steve. Yeah, I've had those calls about my recent car accident. I'm thinking, I don't remember having a car accident. Do you mean the time my teacher ran me over? Oh, that might be the one, yes. That was 40 years ago. Go away. Yeah, but dentists don't want to pull your teeth out because then they can't charge you to work on it again. That's why they'll do the filling, then they'll do the cap, then they'll do the root canal, and then they'll do the crown, and then eventually they'll pull it out for you. Yeah. Dentistry, where the professional sadists like to work. Okay, which of the cars are you referring to? Yeah. Yeah, it's just ambulance chases is all it is. One is always here to enjoy the self. Oh, I'm good, thank you, Willie. But you know, same here, same here. I just need to find a job. The problem with that is I need to actually find the urge to want to find a job. That's my problem. Is I really just don't want to work. I've had enough of it. So if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. But I am going to have to at some point, fairly sharpish. Because I'll have to get in touch with the whatever they call themselves. Exactly, Ricky. They are. Now, the Hippocratic Oath is, do no harm and what have you. Cause no harm is part of the Hippocratic Oath. Dentists, they exist to cause pain. Anything I want to do with my fish house in 22? I'm not entirely sure, Kay. I mean, I'd like to get more bristlenoses breeding and other species breeding so I can make more money from fishies and preferably also make some more money from YouTube. That might involve me actually becoming good at YouTube rather than sucking at it. Not sure. Although if I do breed more bristlenoses, I'm probably going to need another rack. For which I'm definitely going to need a job to pay for another rack. Yes. Yes, Marek. A new rack. And it will probably have to go right there. And it will likely be exactly the same as that, except it'll probably be 3 bristlenose tanks, a couple of shrimp tanks, and another bristlenose tank, and then a big bristlenose tank at the bottom. That's pretty much how it would go. I would just need to find more power outlets as well. Might have to run an extension cord from upstairs. You want me to get orange chromides? Yeah. DIY build. Heck no, I'll just buy the rack. It's cheaper. Hey, Ammonia. I mean, I think that rack was something like 25 quid, 30 quid off of Amazon. Yeah. By the time I bought all the wood and screws and all that kind of stuff, it would cost me more to build it than it would to just buy it. Yeah. I'm probably not going to be getting any chiclets. Don't want to downsize, go back to college and building. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that would be cool, Jeremy. I'm all for people going back to college or uni or whatever and learning new things. Thankfully, in the UK, we have the Open University, which is an awesome thing, and yeah, it's just awesome because you learn at your speed as you want to learn, as you can learn. You don't have to go to a university. You do it all from home. And doing the classes is cheaper than getting someone in to do it. Yep. Well, because you're paying that person's college debts and their wage and their profits. You know, you can't blame them for it, but it's just the way of the world, I'm afraid. If you can do anything yourself, it's always cheaper. Yeah, I know the Open University is pricey, Kay, but everything's pricey these days. And it means you can study and get your degree or whatever while still working full time. You don't have to relocate, blah, 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 blah. And I really should get back onto my physics degree. I did a year of that, and then did I do the first year? I did a year and a bit, and then I got laid off or made redundant. And since then, I've not had enough spare cash to go back and pay and do it again. But no, it was fun. I enjoyed learning stuffs. Even in New England, Endler, yeah, it's. Going if you're of the age, still end up on 0 hours minimum wage job. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I say university for kids of 18 or whatever is one thing. When you get my age, you can't do it unless you've won the lottery or something. So Open University is about the only way, or evening classes, if they still do them. But yeah. But this is it. We're churning out so many university graduates, but there aren't that many graduate jobs. So most of them end up doing, as you say, the 0 hours minimum wage jobs. And they're never going to pay back their student loans. University of Life, continuing self-development. Exactly. I joke about it, but I watch so much random stuff on YouTube or internets, and I know far more now than I ever would have done going to university and getting extra degrees or qualifications. I mean, yeah, and learning a trade, exactly. Doesn't matter how high tech things get, we will always need plumbers, welders, carpenters, brickies, electricians. We'll always need these things. And you can leave school and become a general labourer, work your way up the ranks, and by the time the people are leaving university at 21, you're earning way more than they ever will. It's by then you're probably self-employed and working the hours you want, doing the jobs you want, not got a boss to answer to. And that is partly why I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do, which is make my own money. Yes, being willing to learn, accepting new knowledge, and how to implement it. Yeah, very powerful things. Yes, because science changes, facts change. As understanding of things advances, the way things we thought they were, we realise there's something else going on, something different. There's more to it or less to it, or we learn new things. And you've then got to put that into your view of things. Simon, what lights you got on the rack? They are the cheapy night. I say cheapy. They're the Night Crew Slimline whites. They're the cheapy ones. I think they're about 25 quid, something like that. That's minimum brightness. Literally, they're turned down as low as they'll go. They've got a timer built in, which is 8, 10 or 12 hours. You literally just, right, I want the lights to come on at this kind of time for 8 hours. Click. Where it says 8 hours, the little LED lights up. Job done. It'll gradually ramp up and it'll gradually ramp down. General contractors around 30% of the cost of the house, and I'll refuse to build a house under $500,000. Yes, seems about right. Yes, 42, the answer to everything. Life, the universe, and everything. Oh no, Dan's stuck at work. Oh, that sucks. But yo, we Dan. Good to see you. Speaking of whites, is China white still? As far as I know, it is, Ricky. As far as I know, not that I've ever been. Lights on an extension lead and timer into the socket. Yeah, I'll say they were the cheap ones, and it came with. So who am I to complain? Are they good at growing plants? Don't know. Because literally all I've got in there is moss and a few odd bits of plant that are sort of kicking about that I kind of wanted to keep for whatever reason. And a bit of Anubias. But yeah, they do the job. And I mean, the one on there is Night Crew as well. That's the one I didn't do a review on. I didn't do a video on. And that's the one is red, white, and blue. There's a lot more adjustability in that one. That I think was only 45. So yeah, Simon, get yourself on Amazon and have a look at Night Crew lights, or the one that no one knows how to pronounce. Higa, Higa, Herga, Huga. It's one of those ones you've got to be a bit careful how you pronounce, because if you accidentally mispronounce it, you could say something rather nasty. And I'm not sure, because I haven't actually looked, but I wouldn't be surprised if all those kind of lights all came out the same factory in China anyway. I know the Minelicht and the Nicrew ones used to, or still do. Yeah, I know what you're doing, and someone does have to do it, but yeah, these things happen. Well, you know, manly man hugs. So you've got a Higger light from Amazon. So I'm gonna say Higger, and one of these days I'm gonna mispronounce that and get myself in trouble. And Dan's gonna fill K in later. Woof. Yeah. I'll say it's. I'm not going to say that any light is better than any other, but you know, as long as they light and the plants do okay, you know, they're bright enough that the plants don't just die, and they're not completely full, don't completely just grow algae by the bucket load. Yeah, and personally, I look at because we do have a escape store fairly local to me, and they've got the expensive lights above the open top tanks, and all looks wonderful and beautiful. And I have to put my sunglasses on when I go in there because it's too bloody bright for me. I don't do bright light. If I had some tuna suns or Kessels on a tank, I'd have to have a hood over it and black out the the sides of the tank because it just give me a skull ache. Oh, pardon me. Higer. Yeah, that's probably safer to say it that way rather than accidentally spell it with an N. Yeah, it's. Oh, we all make the occasional Freudian blowjob, but any plants I wouldn't bother buying. Anything that needs high light, anything that needs CO2, Monte Carlo, duckweed, turn up just above minimum, gets turned on when you get up and turned off when you go to bed. Exactly. That's my man. That's how you do it. None of this. There must be exactly a 6-hour photo period or an 8-hour photo period. Any more is too much. Click. Turn it off when I remember. Yeah, that's pretty much how mine works. I mean, it is literally this one and those two are the only automatic ones. And they're both on 10 hours, I think. Yeah, 10 or 12. No, it's 12 hours because they turn on at 8 and they turn off at 8. So, yeah, these ones are on 12 hours. And the rest are pretty much on from when I decide to turn them on till when I decide to go to bed. But then I'm not chucking fertilizers in or anything like that. As Stephen P. 2003's Guppy Rat says, fertilizing plants with fish poo. If you want algae blooms, just set it to max and watch it grow. I can do algae blooms. I've got mine licked light on a 20 litre tank. That's got an algae bloom. That's also got something to do with the fact there's probably 300 or 400 cherry shrimp in there. I mean, let's be honest. I cleared the glass. I de-algified everything inside the tank on Tuesday. And it actually looks better on camera than it does in real life. And while we're at it, Shelly's. Oh, baby Shelly's out. Yay. Shelly Dwellies. Ooh, the fish calendar. Ooh. Is that going to be like the Pirelli calendar? Fish fam, not fish gal. Damn it. uh, no, I'm not actually going to go with where my mind went with that one. I was to say 2 words. Haley, crabs. Oh dear. But actually, speaking of linkies, this is something I do actually feel does deserve shouting out. There's a certain chap, Matt from Liquid Zoo YouTube channel, has set up a website called fishfam.link. If you just type that into your Google search bar once the stream is over, it will take you to the site, and it's got, I say, all the Fish Fam YouTube channels. So you can search by channel, find whichever channel. It's got all their links for their various YouTube, Insta-Spam, Faceache, Twitter, Facecock, merch. And there's another bit where live, and it will just tell you when someone's live. That is fishfam.link. And if you look and you're not on there, hit up Matt and he will put you on there. Exactly, Bob. Pin-up calendars. That's where it's at. See, Haley with crabs, Amber holding a big rack. Dee Dee with a big pair of melons. Yep. Yes. Matt did a great job with the Fish Fam link. Really easy to use and find for everyone. I mean, this is the thing. I can figure it out without assistance or a video to show me what to do. Yeah, he really did that, Bob. And sorry if you didn't know, and it might have stepped on toes. I'm in top chat again, aren't I? One of these days. Is it? I told you I was a bad YouTuber. I've been in top chat this whole time. There we go. I am a living example of how not to YouTube. Oh yes. You see, and that's the comment it hid. Marek talking about her having wet boobs. Now, with the duckweed pasties, that would be hilarious. Yeah, or wet fingers, either or. But yeah, well, yeah, exactly. My YouTube channel is basically succeeding despite my best efforts. Are you in the bath, Marek? Is that why you're thinking about yourself with wet boobs? It wouldn't be the first time you've been in the bath chatting to me.
Just don't tell us if you're blowing bubbles. Oh dear. Yes. Yeah, trying to think what other good ones can we have. So Hollywood crabs, just with a rack, Dee with melons. In bed with a bad hip. Oh, bless you. Well, maybe a nice hot bath might help with that. If you can get in and out of the bath, that's the thing. But well, send them a kiss better. Actually, that is something that did happen earlier this week. My hip did dislocate itself again. Minor problem. And I even managed to not fall over. Yeah. Honeydews or cantaloupes, I'm not entirely sure. For some reason, Shanna and starfish come to mind, but we're not going to go for that pin-up. Yeah. The world's perviest fish fan calendar. Although I have a fish calendar that Mary got me for Christmas, and I don't know the website she used or whether it's Amazon or what, but it's pictures of, well, each month is pictures of my fishies on the calendar. Thank you very much, Bob. It was nice to be there. Amber and Hooters. Yeah. Try not, no, I'm trying not to think about that, Amber. Marriott. Hooters. Oh, pardon me. I'm wearing sweatpants. You don't want me thinking about that. Jess and Fleshlight. Oh, you saw that as well, did you, Kay? Yes. I remember when you used to be able to get an R2D2 and an AT-AT flashlight as well. Yes, you could stick it in the back end of R2D2 or in the back end of an AT-AT. Not quite, Bob. But if I think about Amber in a Hooters outfit anymore, I probably will start sweating. Tempting. Not quite. Not quite there. You'll know if I do because the laptop will start doing that. Yes. Ladies' night should just be called "Let's Embarrass Jess for 2 hours solid." That's pretty much what happens. Oh, hang on. No, let me do it more accurately. If I'm tempting. There you go. It's a heavy laptop. What is the weather like? Cold, wet, and windy, Bob. Although it's surprisingly warm indoors now. I'm blaming it on being surrounded by fish tanks. But yeah, won't be long now till the froggies are back. The days are starting to draw out now. We're back to being light before 8 a.m. and still being light at 4:30 in the evening. So, yay, more daylight, as long as it stops at a decent time.
Mandy, my dear, I've missed you too. Hope you're well as well. Big hugs from Amanda Panda. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just judging by what it was like when I walked Mary to the car at 5:30. It was wet, windy, cold. There weren't even any cats out. They were all hiding up. Sensible creatures. But yeah, this is the thing with this time of the year in the UK. It gets dark real early, and with my sleep patterns the way they are at the moment, it seems to be I start getting the urge to actually do things and get on and get things done just about the time it gets dark, and then it's like. Which leads to me going and doing the shopping and things like that, going, not being able to see what I'm doing, barely staggering around the shop, getting home and having a nap. Let's just hope if I do find it, or when I find another job, that I don't have to start at like 5 a.m. because that'll kill me. Yes, does Mandy have the link to the Fish Fan calendar? There we go. Just be in the box before dawn. Yeah, exactly. Although, at least this time of year, it's easy to keep up my tan. And the reason I appear to have colour is because my kitchen is decorated red and it's reflecting out this way. So that actually gives me some colour. If it weren't for that, I would be corpse white, basically. It takes a long time to get this kind of a tannage. Hello, the website. Never can spell calendar right. Well, you're in good companies because Morrissey couldn't spell cemetery properly. So the Smith song Cemetery Gates is that the Smith song? Yeah, Cemetery Gates by the Smiths is spelled incorrectly. The website. Ooh. So if you're talking fishfam.link, there's that one. Is there another website which is pass? My brain is bad at remembering stuffs. You'll remember random stuffs for no apparent reason, but then kind of important stuff it just forgets. Have I eaten anything yet today? I don't know. Victorian lady complexion. Pretty much. I'm going for the complexion of it's going to take them checking. They're actually going to have to check my pulse and stuff to tell whether I'm dead. I won't just be able to tell by my coloration. Sun is bad. It's bad for you. Sun and heat are bad for your health. I'm, careful with the belladonna. Yeah, I've got dark enough brown eyes as it is, Bob. I don't really need to add extra belladonna. Although that would be cool if I could turn my eyes purple. Which is one of the side effects, other than death. There we go, Mandy. More links than the Titanic's anchor chain.
Actually, you say that about the belladonna, Bob. I think I've got some growing in my back garden. It is a wild native plant in the UK after all. And there isn't much more wild than my back garden. Norwegian, Orange Norwegian College, right? Yeah. Because, Fanta orange or mahogany brown are such natural skin tones. Hey, there he is. Howdy, Matt. Speak his name. He shall appear. There's been no poopings yet here, but you have been getting shout outs and linked to your website. Which, when I checked, I was like, what the hell? What? I'm on here? Damn. He must have scraped the bottom of the barrel. And the poop is still there, smiling away. And with the amount of plecos that are around here, there's going to be some pooping going on kind of permanently. Oh, YouTube has been updated in the background. Oh, and an interesting notification. Watch Redfish Bluefish live in 30 minutes. Aquarium Keepers Unite surprise Sunday live stream. So there we go. Jason Blair at Redfish Bluefish live at 8 o'clock UK time. So yes. And just to make you feel a bit better, Mandy, my clowny plecos, they've gone all hidey uppy now. They're not hanging around and just going, look at me, look at me. They're hiding at the back of the wood and in the cave. We're not doing the kind of cavey things I like plecos to do yet. Anyway, first I'll probably realise it is when I see a baby one somewhere. There's nothing in there that's going to eat them. I mean, pygmy and CPDs are not going to eat baby plecos. Yeah, Jason's back. Yeah, my plecos have fixed themselves. Yes. It's just the other ones that are broken now, man. It's, we've got a few plecos at the moment. As I said earlier, we're up to 750 bristle noses. Amazing the things ladies did to appear wide-eyed. I couldn't see, but they were very fetching. Yes. Yes, and complete with the mercury white face paint as well. The mercuric chrome. It's no wonder they died young. But yes. Could you imagine what Victorian contact lenses would have been like? Oh, ow. Actually, we do have some out and about while we're here, because we haven't shown them off very often, and not everyone has seen them yet. If we go over here, yay, baby super reds. Good mix of standard and long tail, or long fin. We've got about 100 of those in there. Snails and mollies. Snolly, yeah, snolly tank. Mollies and bristle noses. Oh, bristle noses. 3-day-old bristle noses. So yes, we're fully bristle nosed up at the moment. Just waiting for the super reds to have another spawn, or perhaps the lemon blue eyes. Bob always looks fresh. And Bob is such a macho sex symbol, it's unbelievable. Errol Flynn looks at Bob and goes, "Damn, he's fine." And I don't mean Errol Flynn as he looks now, or kind of corpsey and skeleton-y. Yes, Bobby's very dapper, a dapper gent. Whereas I'm just a scrub lord. I just wear t-shirts with attractive looking people on it and hope for short-sighted people to think that I am the person on the t-shirt. That's the way I work it. Actually, Bob, I'm not sure whether you'd like the channel or it would drive you up the wall. But there's a Texan guy called Kirby Allison. That's the name of the channel. KIRBYALLISON. Who very, very much wants to be an English gent. And so gets the clothes of an English gent and the shoes and all that kind of stuff. And he's just so earnest, and I just find it so hilarious. Man, he finally bought the wide-mouthed actual pleco caves. Longfin's so big it hurt themselves getting in and out of the water with spikes. Yeah. My ginger, bless her. Yeah, she's more thin than Bristlenose, I think, but she's a big girl now as well. She's not quite as big as Bertie is, but oh yeah, sorry, I had to reread that because that kind of, my brain registered that as really rude. I thought you were asking Mandy how big her opening was. They come in several sizes. I've got one of the Ks that's the small size with the clown plecos. Got watering spike in with the super reds. I've got the medium size in with the lemon blue eyes and the honka chonka round cave in here for Mr. Spotty. What are you doing back in that cave, Spotty? Oh, you're on a bit of wood. That's okay. Yeah, my brain automatically goes to those places. I can't help it. Marriott just died out loud. Well, as long as you ain't weed yourself. Yes, you're a gorgeous boy, aren't you? And you know it. There's no wonder you're not very big. The amount of bloom time you spend wafting eggs. Poor bugger. He spends at least 5 days a month without food or rest. He'd spend more if I let him. Because I'll leave him on the eggs for 5 days, and he normally goes back in there and wafts for another couple of days before he realises there's no eggs left in the cave. He's not the brightest of Bristlenoses, bless him. But yeah, so I'm just waiting for. Does he affect an accent? He doesn't try and affect an English accent, Bob. He curtails his own accent. Let's put it that way. He doesn't have a Texan accent. I mean, some of it is actually quite interesting to watch, where he's got it, where like he goes and gets, because he has bespoke clothing made by proper tailors, and so seeing how they measure things up and how the things are actually made and fitted is actually really quite interesting. There's a lot more to it than you'd think. But when you're spending that much on a pair of shoes or a shirt, then yeah, I'd want it weaved on a loom by an exquisite lad. Yeah, that kind of price. Yeah, The likes of me goes to Primark or Walmart in the States probably and buys whatever they've got that's roughly the right size off the rack for a few bucks or fiver. Yeah, we don't spend 100 times that on a shirt. We're talking about someone who will quite happily spend a few £1,000 on, or a few $1,000 on a pair of shoes. So it's the same with cigars as well and everything like that. One of his hobbies is actually polishing his shoes. You know, each of their own. I'm not knocking it. It just makes me laugh quite a bit. So the ones where it's interesting going into how the things are actually done, it's like, yeah, and the rest of it just makes me laugh. Yeah, that's the one. Yes. But you know, it's worth a watch because, you know, again, yeah, entertaining, and you do learn stuff, which is kind of what, to me, YouTube is about. It's entertaining and learning all together. What have we learnt tonight? I've got a crude sense of humour and my mind lives in the gutter. I think we all knew that anyway. Another one I saw, what was the other one I watched this week? And another, I do watch quite a few of the American Reacts channels. Yeah, well, your mind's not far further up than mine is, Marriott. So, you know, you're on top of me in the gutter. And I was watching Eclectic Beard reactions, and he did a reaction on a video about UK gun laws, and that was actually quite interesting because he's very sensible about these things. So we won't go into Second Amendment gun laws and stuff like that and rights, but I did find that video interesting to watch as well. And then Mary was watching videos about Americans reacting to the Dunblane massacre over here, which is where our gun laws got tightened up even more regarding pistols, in particular semi-automatics. Trying to think what else I've been watching lately that's interesting and cool that isn't necessarily fish fan related. Wristwatch Revival, which is my one that takes old school proper watches, you know, mechanical watches, strips them down, cleans them up, fixes them, puts them back together, gets them working again. Yeah, the reactions niche is a good thing to look at because the person watching the video, first of all, me, I can learn things, and then seeing someone from a different country or culture reacting to it and how they see it, what they think of it, gives me another perspective on it, and it works very well. Now, the music reactions, there have been some issues with lately, mainly due to copyright, and it seems the ones who break the music down and go into the time signatures, how it's put together, the keys, the notes, the melodies, all that kind of thing, how it all works together, they're fine. They don't get hit with copyright strikes. The ones who sit there, spend the first 2 minutes telling you about all their links to everything, and going yo, 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 yo. Then watching the video with like tiny little bit in the corner of the screen is the actual video for the song. The rest of it is them just sitting there going. Then the song finishes, they take off their headphones and they go, yeah, that was cool. I like that. Stay tuned for the next reaction. You're like, you're not adding anything. You're not actually doing anything, and you're complaining that you're getting hit by copyright. Well, you're not fulfilling fair use. But yeah, I'll say the various other reactions. God help anyone that reacted to one of my videos. Although, you know, it might grow my channel. This guy's talking rubbish. My God, his camera work is really bad. Has he never heard of editing? Or graphics or subtitles or... Would it have hurt him to cut his fingernails or... Yeah, all these kind of things. I have been criticised in videos in the past for having long fingernails, don't worry. And there's a modelling videos where having fingernails is very helpful. It's like having built-in tweezers. Yeah, so that is the reason I watch Mass, is to get, you know, different perspectives on things, to gain a deeper understanding and understand different cultures and mindsets, things like that. And sometimes just to have a laugh. American reacts to the NHS is normally quite good for a laugh. Especially when you're in the NHS. When you're not, it's probably like, what? They don't pay for that? Well, technically we do, but we pay a very small amount. I think the amount, I mean, working full time, my last job before, I think I paid about £20 a month national insurance, which covers NHS, roads, police, army, government, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the more you earn, the more you pay, but it's only fair. And it comes out of your wages, whether you like it or not, before you even get them. But yeah, I'll quite happily pay that if it means I can go see a doctor or go to hospital anytime and not have to worry about paying for it. Yeah, it just makes sense to me, really. But yeah, so we're getting to that time of, does anyone have any questions for me? And if you do, speak now, or I say forever hold your peace till next week or till you next remember. Bear in mind, I will answer frankly, and I'll pretty much answer anything as well. Maybe not publicly. Marriott. While I roll a last ciggy, and we shall see whether anyone does come up with a question. And if I don't know the answer, it'll be 42. When is the new rack coming? Oh, when I really need it and when I can afford it, Marriott. That's when it's coming. When I have to have it and I can afford to have it. Because the rack is the cheap bit. It's then putting all the tanks on it, the heaters, the filters, the air pumps, the lights. My opinion on deep substrate anaerobic bacteria. It's about the only place in a fish tank where you're going to get actual anaerobic bacteria happening. You're not going to get it inside of a canister filter, not to any great extent anyway. Now, if you had a sump with a chamber that was just full of sand, basically, a sump with a chamber that's got 6 inches or whatever of sand in it, yeah, you'll get anaerobic bacteria there as well. On hell, I could show you anaerobic bacteria. Needed it for months. I know. I always need a good rack. Don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see the different layers in the shelly tank, and that right down the bottom, where it's darker and a couple of striations, that's the anaerobic bacteria. That's it happening. Because that tank, despite having however many shelly dwellies in there, right, and the filter is just a piece of sponge, that tank runs at 0 nitrate. That's kind of, yeah, you know, there's no special media, there's no anything in the back. It's literally just the piece of sponge that comes with Fluval Flex, and it runs at 0 nitrate with 20 odd shell dwellers in there and no plants. Ooh, bum trumpet. So that's my opinions on deep substrate anaerobic bacteria. And also, if you remember my pond, when I did the water tests on that, that is essentially unfiltered. Well, it is unfiltered at the moment because I've got the filter turned off. But the filter that was in there, or is in there, is tiny and is just sponge. And there's a good layer of pond sludge in the bottom. And it may not be heavily stocked with fish. You might only have the 3 chunky comets in there. But by the time you take into account all the frogs and snails and God knows what else is living in there, that runs at 0 nitrate as well. Who'd have thunk it, you know? The muck at the bottom of a pond that most koi keepers swear at and try and get rid of does a far better job of keeping the water clean than the super expensive filters they fit. Plus, you know, koi, being common carp, they like deep muck and mud in the bottom of their homes because they rootle around in it and they feed in it. And when the weather gets cold, they bury themselves in it. Yeah. A koi is a Cyprinus carpio. It is a standard common carp. It is just a colour morph. Much like a super red is just a standard bristlenose that happens to be red. So the same conditions will apply for a koi as they will for a common carp. And yeah, carp like muddy puddles, basically. They're otherwise known as lake pigs because they spend all their time snuffling around in the muck and the mire and the detritus at the bottom of the lake. Unless there's stuff floating on the surface, and they'll come and feed off the surface if it's warm enough. And yes, a big enough carp will take a small baby duckling. And they are perfectly capable of crunching the bones as well, given their pharyngeal teeth buried at the back of their throat. Lumpy! Beetles, stones, cream, Led Zepp, kinks, who, yardbirds, animals. Not bad for a smallish country. Well, we do try. There's plenty more you can add to that list as well. Welcome aboard, sir. Although, look at Finland. They got some pretty damn good bands as well. And that's a lot smaller country than the UK. And admittedly, our music scene at the moment is absolutely dire, but I think that's pretty much the same throughout most of the Western world. Well, you come out to say hello, have you, Spotty? Yeah, you're a good boy, ain't you? Hey? Yeah, you're having a munch. I don't blame you. Yeah, we do okay for music. I'm trying to think if there's anything I really listen to a lot. Oh, the Smiths and the Cure. The Cure have been going since 1975. And they're still touring and releasing new albums. I reckon if you looked into the numbers and what the Cure have sold, it'd probably surprise and scare quite a few people. I mean, I'm not going to count Oasis because that's just basically a Beatles cover band with a guitarist who wanted to be in the Smiths, a singer that wanted to be in the Prodigy. There's another one, the Prodigy. No, little bits of music post 1990. So most of my music tastes are 80s, 90s. So it's just the age. My 60s and 70s music knowledge mostly is from radio and parents, and that kind of thing. But yeah, you can't get away from bands like the Beatles and the Stones, Cream, Led Zeppelin, the Kinks, the Yardbirds, etc. You just can't not know of them or know their songs. It's all you got to do is go na 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 na, and anyone will go, "Hey Jude." Yeah, don't forget the Spice Girls. Yeah, trying to put that out of my mind. That was definitely an early 90s thing. Or was it mid 90s? Mid to late 90s? Can't remember now. I was probably drunk at the time. And I would have been listening to things like Pearl Jam, Nine Inch Nails, Soundgarden. Yeah, Take That as well at the same time. And then you go back to the 80s with Duran Duran, Spandau Ballet, Depeche Mode, Darling Buds. Yeah, heard of those. But as I say, I went down the heavy and the dark and the metal side. So there's quite a lot of bands that I listen to that very few people probably know of. See you later, S. Been good. Catch you later. I'll say. I assume Brianne is going at 8, as is Jason, Redfish Bluefish, who I shall be tuning into once I've done what I need to do. As I ate a pork pie just before we started, and things are moving. So, were there any other questiones? No surprise. No surprise that I ate a pork pie, or things are starting to move. Right. When you're mad at the world and need a vent, you listen to Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah, probably best left for another time. But yeah, I did scream along to Heresy quite a few times. Let's be honest. Um, that might be why I've got different neighbours now. Yeah, so hashtags. So if you're going over to see Brienne, no new fish, I'm afraid, Lumpy. Well, I mean, we got 150 more bristle noses, but you know, that's just standard fare around here every month. So anyone going to Brienne's stream, we'll go with hashtag HIBRI. And anyone going to Jason, Redfish Bluefish's stream, hashtag nerd. There we go. And on that note, I will say thank you to everyone for showing up. I hope everyone had a good stream and has a good week, or a great week, as Kay said. Stay safe, look after yourselves, have fun. Definitely have fun. Always have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Ah.